Hi, I'm Paul. I'm here today to show you the proper installation of a Sleekline golf cart enclosure on the club car. This happens to be an Onward. We are also available in the Precedent. Now I'm going to show you the proper tools to have to do the installation. These are the tools required to do a proper installation on the Sleekline enclosure. We've got a 3/16 rivet gun, an 1/8" rivet gun, an impact, a 3/16 drill bit and drill, and an 1/8" drill bit and drill. The reason why we have two of each is so you don't have to keep switching back and forth. We also have a set of shears for cutting plastic and our hardware pack that comes with the kit. Let's go get started. So we're going to start out with our dash piece. This fits tight to the body. Just clip it in on both sides on the bars. Keep it up high so you don't push it down and scratch your lower cowling. So just kind of seat it in tight. Then we have our upper air dam, which has our mirror mount pre-drilled ready from the factory. And it is offset so you're looking past your head and not through your head when you're sitting in the cart. So same thing, we're going to flip it over. And then at this point you need to pull the back inner portion of the air dam to the inside of the tab on the roof and push it tight to the roof. After pushing the air dam tight to the roof, now your roof sometimes from the factory can have warps and bends in them because just in shipping or hot weather plastics can do that. So you want to get as snug a fit as you can to the roof and then drill and rivet here and on the other side. You're going to repeat that process on the other side, and then down on the bottom, our lower air dam and dash piece, you want to go just below your hole where your windshield is going to mount. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you've seated it tightly to the cowling. Just for information purposes, these wires are for a fan that's being mounted after our enclosure is installed. We recommend that you do not install any accessories until after you've installed our enclosure so that they are not conflicting with each other. But we do recommend that you pull any wires that you may need. When you're drilling your mirrors or whatever brackets you're going to put in here, you need to make sure you do not hit that wire when you're drilling your holes. At this point, we're going to go ahead and put our bar covers on. Now, these can be confused. You do not want to do it with the wide side to the outside. You want to do the wide side to the inside. So I have to mark this and cut it. So I will mark both of these and cut them, and I'll be back to you in a minute. Okay, so now we've made our cuts to length. We're going to go ahead and snap this into place with the wide side to the inside. So pop it into place, and we're going to put two rivets, one down towards the bottom and then we're going to go about 3/4 up and put a rivet here. And then repeat this process on the other side of the cart. Now we're going to install our rear quarters. This allows us to put our sliding rear window in the back and also connect our quarter or side panels to this. I want to make sure that this is pushed back and seated at the roof and at the bottom, and then we're going to put two rivets. Okay, we'll just let that relax in a straight fashion, and we're going to drill another one. Then repeat this process on the other side of the cart. At this point, we're going to install our sliding rear window. With the ear to the bottom, we're going to slide that ear behind the basket, sweater basket. Ear is behind. Push it back snugly, and we're going to apply 2 rivets into the roof on the front section in the back. At this point, we're going to go ahead and attach our rear quarter to our sliding rear window assembly. So all we do is pull it back tight, and we're going to drill a rivet here and in this area right here. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you pull those 2 together so that the rivet gets through the other side. If it doesn't, it won't do what it's supposed to do. Repeat this on the other side. Now we're going to install our side main panel. This has our sliding doors on it. This is one of the biggest components. It's not real difficult. Just one person can lift it up, slide it up in the back first, get over the top of the front, and I put my leg down at the bottom, pushing it to the back, and then I'm going to take a tech screw, which is basically an 1/8 inch screw, self-tapping, and this is just a temporary screw that's going to hold us in place, so now I can let loose of it. It's not going to fall on the floor. And now we can do all our proper attachments. Now, with the quarter panel shoved to the roof and to the back of the cart, up and back, we're going to drill into our bar. In order to ensure that our enclosure is tight to the roof in this position, if you don't, it'll sag down and leave a gap. So what I'm going to do is go to the bottom, and with the tech screw, I'm going to push up, and you'll see that that gap at the top closes up. The tech screw is just a temporary. We'll replace that later with a 3/16 rivet. But what we've done is we've gotten this up to the roof so that we can rivet on our back quarter. At this point, 1/8 inch rivet again. We're going to go ahead, and we've got 5 holes we're going to put in here. There's 4 of them already here. Those are packing holes, and we're going to drill one at the top. What you have to do is go into the inside, reaching through the window, push out until it touches. One thing you need to do when you're doing this is work from the top down, because if you don't, if you put a rivet here and here, if you've got any extra material in there, it's going to ripple on you. So with this pushed back at the bottom to the body, I'm going to drill my second hole, and that is in one of the packing holes that was already there. You may need to have somebody push back on the other side so that this rivet gets drilled in the proper place. And repeat this process on the other side. Now that we have attached our rear quarter to our side door sliding assembly, I'm going to go ahead and remove the temporary tech screw that we put at the bottom. Also removing the first tech screw that we put in under the seat. A tech screw is just, it's a brand, but it's just a self-drilling screw that allows you to put it in, and when you pull it out, you can drill it out and make it larger for a 3/16, or it's the perfect size for an 1/8 inch rivet to fit into. Now we kind of take your knee, push back and in, so it's seating it back and into the cowling on the cart. There are two holes here. There's ship-it packing holes, which we use the tech screws in to pack them so they're the perfect size for your rivets. Using a 3/16 drill bit and 3/16 rivets at this time, we're going to anchor 3 rivets. Now you got to make sure you get in this spot, not in the middle. You want to put one here, and one here. With pressure to the back, I'm going to drill my first hole. Again, these are the 3/16. Prior to this, all we were using was 1/8 inch rivets. So you're transferring to the larger rivets. Now, with the hole that we had from our tech screw, the first thing we put in, we're going to replace that with an 1/8 inch rivet, and we're going to apply another 1/8 inch rivet here and here. The hole that we have there may have moved from your existing hole that was there when we first set it. Don't be alarmed about that because we've made our adjustments accordingly. Next, we're going to go ahead and put a 3/16 rivet where we had our tech screw here, and that will pretty much complete this side except for the threshold. We'll do our threshold next, and I believe that's it on this side. After we do the threshold, we're going to complete this whole process on the other side. Now we need to attach the roof to our enclosures. There's a slight gap there. You want to push out and up, and you need to stay down towards the bottom of the lip and angle down slightly. And drill all the way through using the long rivet silver that's in the kit. And you got to make sure it gets pushed through all the components. Okay, we're going to do that at this point, and back here we're going to pull the roof down. Again, staying down at the bottom of the lip. This is our threshold. This goes over top of the track, and we use 3/16 rivets to hold it in place. The thing with the track is you need to make sure it's out flush with the face of the track in both places, and look down on it to make sure that it's parallel. You want to keep these rivets towards the back edge, because it will pivot down if you get out here towards the center. Again, I'm sighting to make sure that I'm parallel with the track, and continuing our rivet process. Again, it's critical that you stay towards within 3/4 of an inch of the back edge, so that when somebody steps on this, it won't break. What this does is it keeps people from getting their foot hooked up on the track and breaking it. Then you take and repeat this whole process on the other side of the cart.